Saturday. And this is a news article recently, and this is from Dutch Wells, MSN.com, Volatile Couch Renno, if I Dutch Wells, if I pronounce that word. It's a supporter of journalism. And the highlight of this news article, it reads for in the news, it says Russia warns Moldova of a transnistria troops. And this is like a couple of weeks ago, we had that intense fight between Russia and Ukraine in that region, and it was getting, I believe they close to like hitting a military base or something like that. And then it was like a close military base over there in Moldova, and I believe Romania and Moldova, and they was gonna like team up together if there was a possibility of Moldova and Romania, because it was getting the war was getting like close to over there, and there was gonna be a potential, they was being involved in the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, and then Moldova and Romania, they was going to team up, potentially get involved in the Russia-Ukraine war. Now you got right here, a couple of weeks later, Russia sent that warning to Moldova over some troops, and it says, for the article reading, it says, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has warned Moldova not to endanger its troops or risk an attack. It says, Slovakia for the music in the background. I'm right by the lake and stuff like that. It says Russian forces have been stationed in the breakaway region of a Transnistria since the 1990s of Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov this weekend warned of a Moldova not to endanger Russian troops stationed in the Transnistria, a pro-Russian breakaway region in the country's east, saying during this could spark a military confrontation. And it says in a television interview with a Russian station on this Thursday, which about like two or 3 days ago, because today is Saturday and this was on Thursday, Lavrov said any action that will threaten the security of our troops will be under international law, as in an attack on Russia. It says several hours earlier, Moldova has increased the Moldova's pro-European, it says President Maya Shandov are blocking talks to resolve the transition conflict, and Russia supported the direct dialogue. But during my statement made by President Maya Shandov and her team that did not want to such dialogue as they being directed by the U.S. and the EU reject talks. Lavrov said apparently they are seeking a non-diplomatical solution to the Transnistria problem. If I pronounced it right, I couldn't pronounce that name, so I'm gonna skip it since I can't pronounce it. It says several distinctuous reasoning. It says several days early, and the separatist leader Vadim Kolosky has sent a letter to the president of Sudan requesting talks over a peaceful political. When that comes to mind, 1 Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then southern discretion come upon them. And then conflict between Moldova, however, only communications with the Transnistria pro-Russian breakthrough of a government through its Bureau of Remuneration of a governmental body, heading by Moldova Deputy Prime Minister Serbian Slovakia. It says in this television, it says Lavrov also said that will defends speaker and the Moldovia's minding viewers that are part of the regional of the Ganzara would also seek special recognitions in the country. He helped in Moldova's leadership would end the Western dilated in the geopolitical games. Instead, think about the interests of the people living side by side in the July this year. It said Lavrov already accused Moldova of working an annual everything Russian, just like in Ukraine. It says the same month Moldova and Ukraine were granted EU candidate status. Moldova firm stance. So yeah, I'm not gonna read all the rest of it, but I guess Russia sent a warning to Moldova, because Moldova might potentially get caught up in a war with the Russia-Ukraine current situation, what's going on over there. Because Russia look at that as an operation ever since it started over there in February all the way into now. But they looking at what's going on over there in that region, So yeah, these wars and rumors of wars are definitely sparking up and heating up. And then I'm gonna bring out the scripture. It was just a quick little outside sit down lesson that I wanted to do because I got through finishing camp about a couple of hours ago. So I'm just outside chilling, right by the lake, enjoying the water, enjoying the weather, before I head back into the house in a few. But bring out that Matthews 24:6. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And it reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet." Right, because the end is not yet. Because you're seeing these wars and rumors of wars definitely heating up between the nations. What's going on over there in the Russia-Ukraine situation. And then now you have Russia warning Moldova. And then I did a lesson on this about a couple of weeks ago. Potential Moldova might get part of the conflict what's currently going on between the Russia-Ukraine situation and Romania as well too. Because you got soldiers already stationed in Eastern Europe. I believe they doing. I don't know if they finished or they was continuing doing on like some type of war games or something like that. And I was looking at another article of Russia and China, because I believe China had deployed some troops over there, and they was about to get ready undergo like some joint exercise, military training and stuff like that. So that shows you, the times that we're currently living in. Of these Matthews 24:6, the nations rising against nations and the kingdom against kingdoms, and that Joel 3:9, prepare a war, wake up the mighty man. That's what we're seeing right now. Even though they might just say it just like only just military joint exercise drills, but it's more, it's more to that. And at the same time, you got nations jaw jacking at one another from an economical standpoint, from a physical. So economical, verbal standpoint, and economical standpoint they have a dispute with, and from a verbal standpoint as well too. And it can be on many different issues. It all depends on the category, So they still hassling at one another on that as well too. And then it's going to get so very physical into that war, because you already got proxy wars ongoing. Back and forth class wars between the nations and different kingdoms as well too. And this is the book of Matthew 24:7. For nations shall rise against nations and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Right, because that's what we're seeing. We're seeing uproars of the people. What's that? 2nd Ezra 9:3. 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 16, sedition among man, that spirit. They have these nations rising up against nations, kingdom against kingdoms, commotions of wars and rumors of wars. It's definitely heating up. because you might have wars and rumors of wars. This might be a rumor on the news. Sometimes it might not be 100% true. It might be just a rumor. And then you have rumors of wars that's actually a reality of it's actually going to happen as a war. So these things are definitely increasing in our days. And it's going to increase. And I'm gonna go back to that Ezekiel 38. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 1. And it says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God in the land of Magog, and the prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. In verse 3, and thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I am against thee, O God, and the chief priests of Meshach and Tubal. And verse 4, Salakia, Hezekiah in the background on the boat. It says, but continuing on, Ezekiel 38 and 4, and I will turn thee back and put thy hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thy armies and horse and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even in great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. And Ezekiel 38 and 5, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, because the Persians is the modern day Iranians, and Ethiopia is the Cushites. Libya, Ishmael as well too. You might have Cushnail a little bit, but mostly it's Ishmael. It says, with them, all of them with shields and helmets. Ezekiel 38 and 6. Gomer is the modern day Turkish people, and all of his hands, all of his bands in the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Ezekiel 38 and 7. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, and all thy companies that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them, right? Because these nations are going to gather up along with Russia, China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, South Korea, and all these nations are going to get into that World War III, and that's what we're seeing. Which is Revelations 11 and 14. The second war was past, behold, the third war coming quickly. Because that's why you've been seeing throughout the whole year of 2020, all the way to 2022. Now, modern days, you've been seeing all these nations gearing up, preparing for war. And that's why you've been seeing North Korea firing their missiles. Then you got Japan, South Korea, and the United States. All three of them teaming up against North Korea, and that shows the signs of wars and rumors of wars, and nation rising up against nations, and kingdom against kingdoms, and that's what we're starting to see on an everyday basis as it increases now more than ever. In an everyday basis as we see these things take place in the news. But even though everything in the news is not 100% true, but it all depends on what type of news source that you're looking at in the articles and stuff like that, to see if it's actually, real stuff like that, But other than that, hey, these wars and rumors of wars are definitely heating up, and it's going to heat up even more now, more than ever, So, this was just a quick outside lesson through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua. And first and foremost, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Makar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and power. Salakia. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, Christian word, truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, Christian word, truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom and a Shabbat shalom as well too. Shalom.